huge consciousness expansion for this collective. Whatever happened in the past weeks, I feel you have been sitting in a void. I feel you would be aware of this, like just expanding your consciousness. I want to do tarot on top of this. Go into the void. Go into the void. Queen of Wands. Hold on, let me do 4. 5 of Swords. Yeah. Yeah. What? Okay, we have a lot of swords. Maybe detail for some of you. You may be an air sign, or maybe you're very much in your air energy right now. I love being in my air energy. Every now and then, I have to ground. But when you go to the voids, air is the way. The power of air energy is to venture to the void. All right. This is what I'm hearing. It's quite interesting. I feel I don't think this reading's going to resonate with many people, because this is very deep. This is very, it's a level of healing, and again of consciousness. We mentioned this, that not many people will reach in this lifetime. This is not your kind of reading that he's returning and gazillion of people will claim. This is for someone who's mature, spiritually mature. You've been growing, you've been learning, you've been expanding. I feel that I'm hearing there's a level of preparation. This is why this Queen of Wands, it's been activated. This fierceness, sunflowers. It just came to mind. Maybe you dreamed about sunflowers. Maybe a detail for some of you, or you've been seeing sunflowers, or it's a sign for you. But we, like I said, watch the previous part. As feminines, we go to the void for answers. We go to the void for knowledge, for divine knowledge, right? And there's this witchy poo mystic strength required to constantly travel to the void, to work with these things. Wisdom of a womb as well, I'm hearing. This collective, whether, I don't want to go as far to say that your journey may be related to being like a womb priestess, but you will definitely need to know your womb work, because the more you travel to the void, whether that's for yourself or for others, for answers, to connect people in, you're really going to have to be on point when it comes to your womb, the quality of the energy of your womb, the womb healing, because the womb is the portal. Right? We have 5 of Swords. That's on top of that release, expectations. I feel you are, remember what we've mentioned this in previous part. I feel you are really now, I always say this to you guys, that this great mother archetype is very helpful to achieve this state of understanding that everyone is just trying their best, everyone is just on their journey. When you reach that level of consciousness, you have no expectations, no jealousy, no hate, no emotion that is other than love towards all other people, because you see yourself. It's the wholeness of our existence that helps us to see ourselves in another, right? So it's like you no longer, there's something in how you manage connections with others that change and that shifted. People no longer disappoint you, because you have that love and compassion towards them. You understand that expectation creates attachment, and you prefer to connect to people, to let go. Human relationships are not to play games or to win battles. They just are. There's an incredible amount of growth that happened for you, this collective, as you manage relationships. This is because we're doing your path. So this is, it's making me feel that it's going to be part of your path and part of your journey to help others to navigate. Maybe you are meant to work with people who are seeking forgiveness, who are seeking understanding, who are seeking to release expectations, who are struggling to understand, again, the evil, the darkness of this world. But I also feel that, remember we've mentioned this new activation, I feel it's still in its dormancy, right? So what I mean by that is I feel that you are smart enough to know, you know how on this journey in the beginning, when we get activated to something, we immediately want to use it, we immediately want to understand the why. You're on this level that if something new was, I just heard light language, if something new was activated within you, you understand, you're not stupid, this collective, to go ahead and tell everyone about it, and like start to like maybe post, or you're observing. I keep hearing observer as well. You're smart enough to observe, because there's certain things that you still need to learn, maybe let go of even. I'm gonna do another row. When it comes to your healing and your, I'm curious to know about your connection, because you were seeing that it may be right. All right. What do we have? 9 of Wands. Hermits. What's the word? The one that lives on a desert? What's the word? I'm seeing this, I don't know why the alchemist is coming to my mind. I'm seeing this like man, the person, wise person who lives in a desert, and like people come to them for answers. We have Queen of Wands and King of Wands. And death. There's definitely transformation, activation with that transformation. But I feel like you are really in this state of surrendering, keeping it cool. Do you know what I mean? Keeping it cool in a sense. Let's just see where things go. You no longer need answers immediately. You no longer seek for answers immediately, this collective. You have the maturity to understand that you will know when it's time for you to take action. Because the journey of healing, the journey of activation, the journey of finding your mission, your place in life, it's not a journey, you guys, about we receive information, we receive a download, we receive realizations, and we immediately go into taking action. Sometimes we need to wait. Sometimes we need to surrender. Sometimes shifts need to happen in the spirit realm first, on the level of self, before we take action. And I feel you know this. I feel it's like, whether it's already started or not, this collective, whatever activation will come towards you, you will know that you will put yourself in a rest state. And in that rest state, you will wait for action. You will know when the time is right. Does it make sense? I'm hearing, whether it's a coach or a spirit or a therapist or a spiritual teacher, someone who helps people understand. I'm hearing something that I talk about all the time and very few people really understand, sadly. So you're going to have a lot of work to help people understand that everything outside of you is a reflection of you. How you see other people, it's always a reflection of you. So we must always look inwards, inside of us. Why do I want to have this battle? Why do I have these expectations? Do you know what I mean? Very beautiful. I feel like when it comes to your path, I don't feel this collective. I feel like you may not know 100%. This is my mission. This is what I come here to do. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is my craft. I feel like you may not know. But the level of healing, they're preparing you for something huge. The level of healing, the level of your consciousness, you already know that you just need to surrender. You cannot push. You cannot push. Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. You know what it means. We're going to do your connection now. Your connection now. I think we're going to start from these. And then we're going to do tarot. Okay. Where's your connection, this collective? Whoop. Lying. Whenever you guys, whenever I, not always, but oftentimes when I do these readings, healing mission connection is usually for those feminines that master the healing, master the search for your path, but really fail when it comes to healing the connection. And I say this to you guys all the time because I've met divine feminists on a twin flame journey who are already very much healed, who work their mission, who get abundance from their mission, right? They work their purpose on a daily basis. They seem like very mature, divine feminists in their power, but they really fail to heal the connection. They don't understand. They think that they can just say, you cannot disconnect from your masculine. You cannot. He's the other part of you. Part of this journey and healing on this journey is to love him so much that even if he's not with you in the physical, you get inspiration and energy from him every day, right? And many feminines, they're not strong enough in the beginning to do that, and that they put this reason, it's coming to my mind, they put this connection on, I don't want to deal with it, oh my god, I don't want it. They refuse to deal with this connection, right? But it's part of you. How can you refuse to heal? Do you know what I mean? That's why I always say these 3 pillars. It came to my mind. I've seen this shock card as well, because every time we tap into connection and I see the soulmate cards, I don't like it. I don't like it. All right, you guys. We have not to date and we have old school, right? So there's something that is not happening in your connection. Maybe you're even questioning because, again, there's a reason I've said to you what I said to you. Many feminists, they're like, well, I'm healed. Well, I'm walking my mission. What am I missing that he's not here? That it says should answer your question. You haven't healed the connection. When we heal the connection, we don't have any kind of resentment or disappointment or expectation that he's not there. We miss them always. We want them always. But we just surrender and accept. Maybe recently you've been, I'm hearing dreaming as well. Maybe you had dreams about your person, but like replaying certain events. I'm also hearing that maybe you've been having some intuitive thoughts or some visions that shock. My mind goes to that intuition that maybe you're surprised even yourself. Telepathy. I looked at this telepathy. I've done a video about telepathy. I feel like this collective, you should watch this because we really have to understand telepathy. We are one with our divine counterpart, right? We're one soul, we're one consciousness, one chakra system. So until the moment we're not healed, we're very much sometimes confused our own energy with theirs, our own thoughts with theirs. This is why the feminine needs to break the pattern and change the thinking pattern and power through, heal, because we lead the way. So the thought of love, the thought of positivity, the thought of hope, the thought of faith, it has to start with us. On the level of we are the creatrix, right? Maybe you're having some intuitive feelings and thoughts that shock you and you don't really understand. I feel like you would have been... I don't feel there's been some movement in your connection for a while. This is why I want to do another row, but I'm sort of thinking that the soulmates, that you would be thinking, oh my God, I don't even want to say it. Some feminists, you would be surprised that they thrive when it comes to healing again and their journey, but they're so unhealed when it comes to deconnection that far along the way, the journey, they start with the nonsense of being aligned with a soulmate. And you know what I think about this? I share this with you guys all the time. Wanting a soulmate is not something that it's... Not to mention that it is settling, but it goes down. How do I explain this to you guys so you understand why a true divine feminine who is healed is not going to be looking for soulmates? Because you release expectations. You're no longer in this mindset of I deserve love. I have love. I am love. Why would I want a soulmate? I've come here for so much more. This is a grand finale. I say this to you guys all the time. True divine feminine. If you still have moments of craving a soulmate, of thinking that maybe all this journey was for you to find your soulmate and your twin was just an activator, maybe you're going to settle. No, it means you're not healed yet. And I promise you, it will turn around. Yes, you have free will. Yes, you can choose to give up, but the mission is too important for your guys to really allow you to give up for long. It will come around, okay? That's why I always say this, it makes no sense. But if you're still entertaining the idea of a soulmate, my universal truth, yes, again, I say this to you guys all the time. Sometimes there's someone in our energy that we entertain this energy, because we have to relearn to be a woman, to be a feminine, to change our mindset when it comes to dating, when it comes to dealing with men, self-respect, and so on and so forth. So sometimes we connect to, but not on the level of actual relationship. God forbid, intimacy. No. Let me do another row. Whoa, love call. But that's on top of that, not today. I'm hearing more like you're not receiving this. Oh, hold on. Confusion. Yeah, I feel like more that you're not receiving this love call that you've maybe been expecting. Maybe you had some intuition about when your masculine would return. Or even a reading that someone said, you guys, the best readers, there is no predetermined future. We connect to the most possible, probable timeline at the moment when we say what's going to happen. Not to mention that sometimes we hear your guides and you're supposed, it's like the knowing itself can change it. Do you know what I mean? We cannot attach to these things. Karmic relationship. There's a lot of nostalgia here. There's a little, you guys. I feel like for this collective, the thing that you need to, you know how I been explaining to you guys last week that we're in this very important window of opportunity between 10th of the 10th and 11th of the 11th, where we need to have the opportunity to let go of certain things to really collect the fruits of our labor. I feel like for this collective, out of these three pillars, you're not really conquering that final one, which is heartbroken. Maybe you've never healed when it comes to your person. I would feel you can be a bit of in a conflict, this collective, despite the fact look how beautiful the level of your, this is why this journey is so hard. This is the other half of you. This is the tool to go as deep as no person who doesn't have a twin flame can. And I always explain this to you guys, it's a misconception. Not everyone has a twin flame. We are souls who chose the moment of incarnation, starting an incarnation on this beautiful planet Earth. We decide to split further, to separate further for deeper healing, for deeper experience. Not everyone has that, okay? And I always say this, to whom much is given, much is expected. This is why I expect more from my beautiful divine feminines on a twinny journey, that I want a soulmate because I deserve love. Life is not about what you deserve. Life is about what you need to learn, to grow, and to expand. You've come here to give back, not to find yourself a husband, okay? Come on! I'm not liking this, to be honest. There's a lot of nostalgia. There's a lot of disappointment. There's a lot of things are not happening. I want to do another row because I'm looking at this karmic relationship. I don't even want to think that you would think at this level of your consciousness that this may have been your... Oh my God. There is a bit of a conflict and a confusion. You guys, if you're one of those ladies, I always say this, that we all need healers, but we need different kinds of healers. We have different journeys, but if you're one of those ladies that you conquer these 3 pillars, you struggle to conquer your connection, you really need a healer that deals with twin flames, like myself. I want to do another row, not today, love call. I'm going to do your energy in this connection in a moment with tarot. Higher commitment, engagement ring. I feel like this is what you were expecting. There's a reason we were talking about this. It's like you've released expectations towards the whole freaking humanity, but not towards your twin. I feel this collective, you would, by this point you thought, you would maybe have that commitment. You would maybe receive that love call. Grounding. You do need a little grounding. Abundance. Heart healing. And I was hearing this with this broken heart we had at the bottom of the deck. Remember, it's like you've never really healed your heart from your twin, from your counterpart. It's a detail, so don't make this. First of all, watch the previous part, okay? You cannot just watch this part because it's important. It's important because there's a huge discrepancy when we're talking about your healing and your journey, and then we talk about where you are when it comes to your divine, this collective. You would be in a moment of a bit of a nostalgia, maybe going through past memories. Maybe I'm hearing counting. So maybe you've been like, I haven't seen him for like I feel like I have been healed and on my path since why is this not happening? Maybe it's not supposed to happen. You guys, it is supposed to happen. It is supposed to happen. For souls that have twin flames and got activated, because not in all lifetimes we get activated to the journey, but if you get activated to the journey, you're already on a journey, you're supposed to be in union. This is part of your highest, most aligned timeline, but not everyone gets to their highest, most aligned timeline. It's easy as that, because the journey is hard. I feel like you're really looking at, you're analyzing even your intuition, I feel. So you would be feeling intuitive, having intuitive thoughts. Maybe in the past you would trust these thoughts, but because things are not happening in the physical, because you're still attached in the physical and you still have expectations when it comes to this journey, you're starting to doubt your intuition. Healing heart. Epiphany. I feel this is it. I've met and spoke to many ladies who would say to me, but I deserve to be happy. I deserve to have peace. I deserve to have, a partnership and to feel this energy. If you say these things, it still means that you want to feel something from another person. That there's a feeling that is not alchemized on a level of self. Because true divine feminine, when we are healed and still in separation, we don't seek anything. That includes soulmate. Again, if a man is a part of, you have a soul contract with another man, he's going to appear on your path. You should always be open and explore it. And side note, I hope you know that when I say explore it, I do not mean intimacy, but maybe dating, maybe getting to know them, because maybe there's something you can learn from him and he can learn from you. Life, you would know this because life is truly neutral and everything happens for a reason. But we don't seek partnership. We don't need partnership because we understand that life is about so much more. So much more. Once you heal your heart from your connection, you truly always are with your divine counterpart. And until the moment physical union is grounded into fruition, we are in this mindset of it's like you're a crow woman. It's like as far as you're concerned, you already are in union. How could you be with any other men? Do you understand? It's difficult to explain this to you guys. If you really struggle, if you have questions, leave them in the comments or sign up for a session. We can have a chat about this. But it's really important to conquer this part of the journey. You cannot forget about, you cannot disconnect. It's not just detaching. When you detach from your masculine, you detach, but you deeply connect. You're always with him. He is you and you are him. He's part of you. You cannot shut that door sealed. You have to heal that heart. I want one more for that final shock and karmic connection, healing heart. Memories at the bottom of the deck. I feel like you would be, either memories come to you or dreaming. Maybe you're not realizing that it's also your divine because you haven't mastered telepathy. I'm really confused. It rarely happens that I look at these cards, this final four ones: shock, karmic relationship, healing heart, and a girl with a snake. I think you don't even know where you stand with your person. I think you don't even know when you stand. So how can you say that how could you say that you've healed this part of the connection? Do you know what I mean? I feel you don't even know where you stand.